Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Flesh and Blood stream. Today, we are going to be playing some Cindra and CC. We're going to be talking about my LL ProQuest from this past weekend, and we're also going to be talking about the LL banned and restricted announcement that just came out about 2-ish hours ago, something like that. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess we should just start off talking about the bands, right? Like the bands are the hottest thing that's happened yet so far. We should just dive right in and just talk about them. Yeah, I don't know. We'll do ProQuest and Cinder Deck and everything after this, but let's definitely talk about the LL bands. Oh man. Sorry, hang on. Okay. I do have it pulled up. I didn't think I did. Max Rose, Dirtle, Martin, Gavin, guys, how are you? Thanks for being here. What's going on? Gavin said non-fatigue. Let's go. I am excited to play Cinder tonight. I've been doing some thinking, and I've been thinking that my LL or that my CC and LL decks might just be Cinder and Aurora. I don't know. I'm not sold yet, but the BNR did help push us in a direction. So we're gonna talk about all that though. All that tonight here. Marvel Rosetta Thorn stocks are down. That's very true, Thieving. That's very true. Honestly, making it heckin' cheap for your boy to get a Rosetta Thorn. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. All right, let's talk about the BNR announcement. Let's just dive right in. Let's just talk about everything. Yo, Christian, what's up, dude? So for anybody who does not know, there were changes to LL. Deadwood Dirge is restricted and Rosetta Thorn is banned. Now, they have LSS made it very clear in the last BNR announcement that they are looking to stick to in Living Legend that cards in the deck are restricted, that the playable cards in your deck are going to be restricted and not banned, and that arena cards are going to be banned. They mentioned this in their announcement with when they banned needles and they restricted Count Your Blessings. Now, admittedly, restricting Count Your Blessings is basically banning the card. But needles are not the same as Thorn. Thorn's a two-handed weapon, so you only play one of it. But needles is banned. I was kind of expecting to see needles restricted on this LL to this announcement, to be honest. I don't know. I'm kind of I don't know. Deadwood Dirge being restricted, I think, is a good thing. I think even the people who were playing Chain, if you're being honest with yourself, I think you think this is a good thing and that it is very, very healthy for the game. I am not convinced that Rosetta Thorn even matters. I should probably rephrase that or share my opinions a little bit. Rosetta Thorn is definitely just the best weapon that Briar, Viserai, Chain, they can play. Definitely just the best weapon they can play. But a lot of these decks just go to playing Duskblade now. I'm assuming it's Duskblade, or maybe they're playing Reaping Blade if you're just trying to play all out aggro. I don't know. But Rosetta Thorn doesn't seem to be the biggest thing in the world. It doesn't seem to really cut them down too much. It definitely takes them off the top. I'm not saying it doesn't. But this is not a cut your knees out from under you. Type of ban. This is definitely a touch-up style ban, which I actually think is where we needed to be with LL. So the Rosetta Thorn ban is honestly it kind of hits dead on for what I was hoping that they would try to touch up some things. I was hoping they would touch up on more things in the format, but I'll take what I can get. I'll take what I can get. Hey, Damien, what's up, dude? As a person who swung Thorn 5 times every match, I'm glad it's gone, but it still feels like Runeblade is on top. Hey, Bosun, what's going on? I agree that this does not murder Runeblades. The first couple of messages that I got from people were oh, Runeblade is dead. And I was no, you're still able, in Chain, you're still able to play 6 copies of Read the Runes, and you're still able to play a Deadwood Dirge. So you still have 7 free rune chant generators in Chain. Now, it's not as consistent, but it is still pretty powerful, I think. Hey, Taylor, what's up? Duskblade was a close second, but only outscaled Rosetta after 3 turns. Agreed. 100% agreed. Deadwood Dirge is busted in LL? Yeah, it is. It's extremely broken. So the fact that it's restricted now makes a lot of sense. LL was sold as being able to play your old heroes. If you can play those heroes' signature weapons, feels weird. I don't know what this format is trying to be. Elliot, if you want the truth, I think that LSS is trying to figure out what they want this format to be all at the same time as we're trying to figure out what this format is. I've said this before in the past, but Flesh and Blood was created in 2019. Like, this game is 6 years old. We are still in the infancy of this game, and we're still learning more about this game, and the devs and the creator James White and and the players, we're all in this together here. And so I've seen a lot of pretty aggressive stances on Twitter. And yes, I'm such a boomer. I still call it Twitter. Twitter and Blue Sky and stuff like that about the bans. But it's I think these are overall very healthy. I mean, I don't know. I think it's very healthy. Steve, Dave, what's going on, guys? Not being able to play your signature weapon, I get what you're saying. I guess I have a different opinion about this format and these bans because I want to see Worlds be fun. I want Worlds to be fun. It's only 3 rounds of LL for me, but I still hopefully I make day 2 and it's, more rounds, but I still want LL to be fun. And if you want the truth, the Deadwood Dirge restriction, after it just coming off the restriction list 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think that is LSS swallowing their pride and saying, hey, we would rather the format be healthier as opposed to us trying to stand over you and say, oh, we were right, even if they were wrong. Because I do think Deadwood Dirge is an unhealthy card in LL. But I'm very glad that they were willing to walk this back. And for all the people who are putting them down for that, I say shame on you. I tip my hat to LSS for being willing to say, you know what? We weren't right. This is not okay. We need this to be restricted in LL. And so I'm glad that they were willing to go back over that and walk through that again. I don't know. Nobody likes LL. I disagree with you, Jonathan. I think there's actually quite a few people that like LL. I think the loudest people you hear don't like LL. And that's the problem. Chain was very nerfed without Dirge. Husk and Disruption. Now they have nothing again, plus no Rosetta. I don't know, Sigma. I'm still convinced that Runeblade's good. Viserai still has the ability to just stack up rune chants. Chain still has a very solid game plan. You can still play Seeds of Agony and do very, very powerful things in this format with Chain. We're not throwing widespread annihilations at people every single turn. So feels a bit weird to have ban cards in LL, though I understand why. I do agree with you, Cheng. And I think that when we talk about the LL Breakpoints episode 2 episodes ago, by the way, new LL, our new Breakpoints dropped today. Exclamation point Breakpoints in the chat if you haven't seen it yet. Taylor mentioned that the interaction pieces aren't there compared to the power level of LL, and that I completely agree with. So I think that's why there has to be bans. Duskblade is still a real weapon? Yep, agreed, Brock, agree. Didn't Chain win a Battle Hardened before Dirge was removed? It sure did, Nat. Everybody forgets that. Balancing bans around marketing is despicable. In this case, it was them unrestricting Deadwood Dirge for the Viserai deck to be playable out of the box. I don't really know if that's why they did it, but Chain without Husk sucks. Sigma, Sigma, I don't know if you're rage sharing your thoughts or what's happening, but if you really think that Chain is not good without carrying Husk, then I would really encourage you to look in to play more LL, because from everybody I've talked to who is testing seriously for Worlds at all, the LL ProQuest I was at this past weekend, that is a very not just bad, but I would argue objectively wrong take. But now Rosetta is also gone. I don't think that Rosetta being gone is gonna kill Runeblades. I don't know. I just feel like the format's philosophy and goal needs to be clear and figured out, and the ban tweaks and restrictions will slot into place without a clear end goal, though. Feels like a blind firing. I think they have an end goal in mind, and we just don't know what it is yet, to be honest. My issue with LL is that by the time most heroes LL, I am over them. They win so much or have been around for so long that I'm fine with them being gone. I guess that's fair, Nat. I guess that's fair. If the goal is to keep all heroes, I guess it all kinds of makes sense. Didn't say they killed Rune Blades, right? But you just said, hang on, like I'll scroll back up and see verbatim what you said. Chain without husk sucks is verbatim what you said. You didn't say that all Rune Blades were bad. You said that Chain sucks without carrying husk, and I think that is objectively wrong in LL. Yeah, I stand by what I said. I still think that's objectively wrong. Like Chain is just fine in LL without husk. The reason I want to play LL is to play Art of War. I mean, that's fair if you like Art of War, right? I think the whole LL season has really not helped the perception of the LL format, which was already dubious with many people. Agreed, Steve. Agreed. I think the whole game needs hero-specific bans. I hear that a lot, Dallas. That's like one of the big things I'm hearing a lot is that we need hero-specific bans. It's a very hard thing to keep up with, and it's even tougher for your judges to enforce. I don't know. Brings me back to the good old days. Let's go. Yo, Sean, what's up? My man said no mech kits. Let's go. I mean, yeah, it's not like Dash 1, the ProQuest that I went to or anything. I mean, Chain 1. Why would they hit something for mech, right? Just ban Starvo? I don't know if they will. I would play LL just to play the pretty art Illuminaris from the light con box. LOL, that's funny. Ban Starvo. I agree with the hero-specific bans. Those are the two things that I hear the most. Hero-specific bans and ban Starvo. Those are the two things that I'm hearing the most. Let's read the rest of the article just to see what they say. First, allow me to state the obvious. The run-up to Living Legends' first appearance at Worlds has not been particularly well executed. I'll take this opportunity to apologize to our players and assure you that we are already in the midst of adjusting our process to avoid similar situations in the future. We have made the decision to implement these bans immediately to allow players to play more meaningful events under similar conditions to Worlds. We also apologize for the need for players to make adjustments for this coming weekend events on such short notice. Or on short notice. There is no such there. I added that in my brain. Unfortunately, our improper scheduling of the first true season of Living Legends events has left us scrambling to deal with their outcomes. We tried desperately to find small but meaningful adjustments as early as possible in order to provide as much preparation time as possible. However, the format remains unbalanced, with Runeblade simply being better than all the other options. It has definitely felt that way so far. It is clear that the format needs wholesale review as we consider its presence in events going forward, and we can promise that review will happen. But the current priority is to make a solid Worlds event while simultaneously trying to respect the weeks of testing that players have already put in. This is our best effort to serve both the needs of the format and respect the very real time crunch Worlds preparation presents. We cannot take a massive swing at the format here, but we can look to tighten up some matchup spreads and just generally bring Runeblade down a peg. This whole box right here speaks Worlds to me personally. Just play Victor. Nobody would expect it in LL. That's for sure. I really like that little bit right there. Deadwood Dirge should never have been unrestricted. We made an attempt to make Living Legend Armory deck Viserai playable out of the box. Wow. Okay, so somebody, whoever said that earlier clearly had read this before me. Whoever said that earlier, thank you for, I guess, literally just reading ahead of me. I hadn't made it to reading the article yet, so you were definitely ahead of me. All right, fair enough. I guess if that's the case, yeah, I don't know. That feels pretty bad. Playable out of the box, hopefully at a bearable cost to format balance. It is clear now that the cost of Deadwood Dirge is not at all bearable. Chain is facing down 3 copies of Warmonger's Diplomacy without batting an eye. True. And Viserai is too good at powering up his Bloodsheath Skeleton Dirge has got to head back to the restricted list. Let's see. Currently, every meta relevant Runeblade is happily leveraging one of the best weapons in the history of Flesh and Blood. Doing away with Rosetta Thorn offers a unique ban that weakens most of the strongest Runeblades all at the same time, but also serves up and ready-made replacement, which makes decks fairly whole. Hopefully, this change respects the efforts players have already invested in learning a new hero and leaves them able to adapt quickly. While Runeblades will still surely be top tier heroes following these changes, it is our hope that matchup spreads continue to tighten to the point where other options can find success. These will be our final adjustments in any format before World Championship Philadelphia. Interesting. I mean, I got to be honest, guys. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not one of the people who planned on playing Chains, so this already affects me zero. Them hitting Deadwood Dirge and them hitting Rosetta Thorn affects my deck zero. But you can say like the clarity in this article and just willingness, like kind of what I was saying earlier before I actually read the article for the first time, was like they are just willing to own up and say, hey, this was wrong. We're trying to respect people who have been testing, and we're trying to make Worlds fun. Again, LSS continues to just do all the things that I want to see a card company do. Like, they said, hey, we messed up, and we're going to do our best to fix it, and this is what we came up with. I don't think you can ask much more for people who want, for the game that you are playing, I don't think you can ask much more. I don't think you can ask much more. They do a good job with actually apologizing. 100% agree. 100% agree. My opinion, Skeletor was the way better ban than Deadwood Dirge. I disagree with that, Hugh. I disagree with that. Yes. Agreed, Dirtle. 100% agree. Unban Needle, restrict, pick up the point. I mean, there are different changes that they could have done that I think we could have talked about like all day, but I just, this is it. This is what we're testing with. So I was going to talk about my ProQuest run and everything else. I guess now's a good time to talk about the ProQuest that I played at this past weekend. I played at a Living Legend ProQuest this past weekend, where I ended up making it all the way to top 4, playing Aurora. Between my run at the ProQuest and the BNR today, it has just kind of solidified that now we are on Aurora 110% moving into LL. We just have to figure out if we're going to be playing Jarl or if we're going to be playing Cindra. That is now the last option we have. I've officially cut Starvo off of my list. I made that decision when I saw the BNR after this weekend. It was already the way I was leaning, but now with the BNR, going to be playing Aurora at Worlds and LL for sure. Let's talk about the ProQuest though. Let's talk about the ProQuest and see how it goes. So share with you guys how my weekend went. I wish they would just push LL off of Worlds. Clearly, they are not ready for this. I mean, I don't think they're going to push. I don't think they're going to push. Like, I never thought they were going to. I never thought they were going to get rid of LL for Worlds. I would like that, but I don't think so. Never thought they were. Skeletor ban over Thorn. I could have seen that. They could have left one needle in the format. Agreed, Martin. They should have restricted needles, in my opinion. I think Ira is actually like a good, like kind of like counter balance act with one needle. With needle being restricted, I actually think that Ira like helps keep a lot of things in check. 110% agree. No, there was nothing from Starvo hit. It was literally Deadwood Dirge restricted and Rosetta Thorn was banned. So Starvo got stonks, in my opinion. Like, it got a little bit better, but no, nothing from Starvo was hit. Let's talk about the ProQuest. I went to a 17-person ProQuest this past weekend in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, hosted by Turn 1 Gaming, I think was the name. Store was super clean. It was super nice. They had a great turnout. They had a great crowd. That store owner was super nice. All the staff who worked there were great. It was a phenomenally ran event. Had a fantastic time. I got to hang out with a bunch of people I don't get to see too often. That's one thing I love about ProQuest season. So I was super happy to get to make it to this ProQuest and to get to play in one LL ProQuest because I know not a lot of people had this opportunity. I will say, for anybody who is worried about time for LL, we started at 12 o'clock, or no, 1 o'clock. We started at 1 o'clock on the dot. I think I walked out of the store, finished with the day at 6:30. I think it was like 6:30 when we, finals had wrapped up everything, and we walked out of the store at 6:30. Hey, Louie, what's up? Aggro is falls back to comfortable picks with nothing wrong with that. I mean, I do feel comfortable in Aurora, that's for sure. That the beautiful Marble Thorn isn't legal in any formats now, but obviously that should never sway the decision. I definitely get that it feels bad for people who just bought like Marvel Thorn. I know Ellie Bird posted on Twitter about it earlier. Oh, hey Xena, what's up? Okay, so I played the Aurora list that you guys I streamed it last week. You guys could have found that list if you wanted to play it. I played against Dash.io. I also played against an opposing Zach round one. We ended up chatting the whole day. He was really cool. But yeah, he also spells his name the same way I do, gsc10k, which I thought was pretty cool. He was playing Dio. I won this match, and I'm going to talk about like the biggest piece of why I won this match. I went first and just kind of set Arsenal pass, set up a little bit, did nothing crazy. My opponent on their turn puts an optical monocle into play, and then I do some damage, I do some stuff, blah 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 blah. And then they opted 4 times, system reset, opted 5 times, and even though they opted 9, they never put an item into play off the top of their deck. We played they had 3 turns, and I took the 4th turn that won me the game, and they never put an item into play off the top of their deck. It was the most bizarre Dash.io game I've ever played. My opponent got what I would call the low roll of the century. There was a turn where they played Max V, but I still ended the game at 21. So, if that tells you all you need to know, I was at 21 when the game was over. It was just a very unfortunate draw for my opponent. So I did end up getting a win round 1, which was a pretty good way to start the ProQuest, considering I just come off the 2-3 with Jarl. So I was feeling pretty down on myself, and I was ready to try and pick things back up and do better this time around. Round 2, I picked up my first loss of the day, my first and only loss in Swiss, actually. I played against old Willie B, the card guy's Will Bradshaw. Honestly, the more I see Will, the more I hang out with him, just one of my favorite humans. He's hilarious. I love him. He was playing Runegate Chain. In my notes about our matchup here, I had a hand that had CLV in it, Lightning Press, Flittering Charge, and Somersault. And there was a Widespread Annihilation, which is the one that takes cards from your hand, and it just absolutely obliterated that hand. We were in such a close game where I was battling for positioning. We were both right there, and this Widespread Annihilation on my turn where I needed to be able to keep my hand was just absolutely backbreaking. I also had Arc Lightning in my arsenal, so it just did not pan out very, very well. It did not pan out well at all. It was just a tough match. Will was at 7. We fought and we battled, but without playing AB, there was not much of a shot for me to hang on by just racing with a hand like that. It was just unfortunate. Wait, what? I learned the art of dodging sunk matchups. No longer will I sacrifice consistency to try to win a 27% matchup. LOL. After beating him, did you refuse to call him anything but Zach 2? I should have, Dave. I should have. That would have been the ultimate assertion of dominance. So I was 1-1 at this point, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm not playing the right deck. Maybe I don't know. So round 3, I played against Mac, who was playing Dromai. This was a game that I won, and I was at 16 when the game is over. Most of the time, you just kind of run Dromai over. It's been my experience anyway. Arc Lightning keeps the board clear. You're able to throw Starfall at Kyloria and Chromai to keep it off the board and just keep things clear. So I had I had a good start. My opponent went first. I went second by choice. And then I put CLV into play on turn 0 and just kind of never looked back. It was just one of those games where I was just ahead and I was just playing offense the whole game. So moved ahead to 2-1. And there's 2 more rounds left in our 5-round ProQuest here. Round 4, I actually had a rematch from the ProQuest before. I played against Philip, who was playing Chain, But Philip was not on RuneGate chain. He was on what I've been like, I think a lot of people are calling it Boomer chain. He was on like Bounded Demigons and like Seeds of Agony was on like a very different chain list than like a lot of people are playing. Which for what it's worth, I think is like much less affected by the bans right now. But I ended up winning this game. It was really, really close. I was at 5. I was at 5 when the game ended. There was a turn where Philip banished. He had a Bounded Demagon in Banish Zone, banished 2 more Bounding Demigons off of Shackles and a different card, and he had 0 non-attack actions in hand. So he literally just had to eat 3 Blood Debt, and there was like nothing that he could do that turn. He threw some damage at me, but it was like never anything that made me like sweat. So I was in a very good position from there. It just lined up really well for me. So being able to win that locked me for top 8. Just that awkward hand just really put me in a good spot against Philip on that turn. LL, but without Bravo, Chain, and Briar, then I would play LL, LOL, Hyperskates. And then in round 5, I played against Kano. I am actually supposed to have... Base of the Mountain in my deck for the Starvo matchup. Is something I was going to test this weekend, but I don't own a Base of the Mountain, and the store I went to didn't have one, so I didn't buy one. And I ended up playing Spellfray Tiara instead, which is what I've been playing in its place. Well, against this Kano, it really mattered. I was able to like stuff their combo turn, like the turn that they went for it. It was just raw aggression. My opponent like had a turn where they had like set up to go off on like turn 5 or turn 6. And like they drew like 4 reds, I think is what happened to Evan. So it was just one of those like things where things just really went my way. I was at 34 when the game ended. I also saw 1 blue in each of my first 3 hands, which was insane. So that actually felt really, really good. Let's see.
Prank him, John.
Yeah, we'll use that. Just kidding. No, Evan was super cool. So I ended up winning that one. I was 4-1, and I was the 4th seed going into top 8. Oh, Philip said, don't forget about the double snatch turn. So there was a turn. I know exactly what Philip's referring to. I had an Embodiment of Lightning in play. My hand was Skizzik, second strike, snatch, and I had a CLV in play. Well, I threw the Skizzik, and Philip's hand was like good enough to like warrant keeping it and like letting me draw a card off CLV and trying to like, like play more offense. I draw into another snatch. So I go Skizzik, second strike, snatch, draw into something that I arsenaled, I think. And then it was snaps into another snatch. Or no, I pitched it for Starfall. And then I drew into something that I arsenaled. It was just one of those turns, like where the fact that Philip like did not block the Skizzik ended up turning on my whole hand. Now, there's no way for Philip to know that or play around it, but it was just one of those things that worked out really, really well for me. In top 8, I actually got repaired into the Kano. Now, this game was much more interesting than our one in top 8. This game was a sweat. So, our top 8 game, I went second by choice, just like we did in our Swiss game. And then there was a turn where I was like, hang on, where was I at? When the turn started, I was at 30, I think. I can't remember. I was at something like that. But I had to use the turn before my Spell Void. I had to use a blue and Spell Void 3 to stop an Ether Flare with the Blazing Ether staring at me. Like, just absolutely, it's on the stack staring at me, waiting for these things to resolve. And there's also the 2 resources to, like, the Surge card that says, like, resources. If you create 2 resources if it deals more damage than that. So I pitch a blue and and I use my 3 pieces of Spell Void to stop this. And, like, I ended up taking, like, 4 damage. Yeah, because I think I went from 34 to 32 and then down to 30. And then on my turn, I put lethal on the stack with 2 reds in hand, an Arcanic Shockwave, and a Burn Up and Shock with my opponent at 1. Well, my opponent starts going through some of their actions, and they put an Ether Wildfire on the stack for 5. They did it for 5 because they had activated Crucible, but they did not have enough resources to be able to use the Metacarpus node and still have another Kano activation. And so since they had done it in a way by not using their Metacarpus node, I actually ended up sandbagging the shock, block AB1, take 4. My opponent does a couple of more things, puts me down to 18. And then from there, when they use their chess piece, their old knocker, to be able to activate Kano with no cards in hand, no resources floating, I play the shock for my hand to win the game. Now, turns out if I had AB2, it wouldn't have mattered. I would have won anyway. They didn't have enough damage to kill me. But it's worth mentioning that it did pan out very well for me to actually sandbag the shock in my hand with my opponent at 1. It was a very bizarre way to win a game against Kano, but it ended up working out pretty well. So at this point, I'm into top 4, and I'm super stoked. I'm not going to Yokohama no matter what, as I mentioned before. So that's like not something that it matters to me. But we get to the top 4 game, and I'm playing against Willie B, who's playing Chain again. So this is my only loss on the day going in the top 4 was against his Chain in Swiss. And as we sent down to play our game, he picked to go first, which I think is correct as Chain, but it's weird because it also lets me go second, which is what I want to be doing as Aurora. So I don't know, it's kind of weird. Our game was 1-1 at the end of the game. There was a really good game. I did not play Lightning Greaves. I was on AB2 on chest. And we got to the end of the game where we were both at 1, and going into Will's turn, if I draw shock off the top of the deck, I win because he doesn't have AB, because he doesn't have Vexing Quill Hand, and that was his only AB piece. So I'm in a situation where I win with a shock off the top of the deck, and I didn't draw it, and I was at 1 with no AB, and he went Soul Shackle into Read the Runes to be able to play out his Runegate card from Banish. So it was just one of those really, really weird games where I felt like I could have got there. I had only seen 1 of my 6 shocks to that point. There was 2 copies of Burn Up and Shock and 3 copies of Vaporize and Shock left in my deck. So to not get there in the end was pretty sad. I was kind of hoping we would get there in the end, but it is what it is. So my ProQuest run came to an end by losing both of my matches to Runegate Chain, which I think is going to be a little bit easier to play against now that Deadwood Dirge is restricted. Definitely not going to be a favored matchup, but it's going to be a little bit easier to play against. I don't know. I'll have to test it some and see how it feels now moving into Worlds, because I still think the deck is going to be popular. I still think Chain is going to be popular as we move into Worlds. So it's definitely something to keep in mind. Okay. All of that, we've talked about LL bans. We've talked about my ProQuest recap. Let's talk about the Cindra deck, because I have made some changes to the Cindra deck that we were not playing the last time I played Cindra. Before we get started talking about the Cindra deck, I do want to talk about down here the Green Tree Sports Cards 10K that is coming up on November 1st and November 2nd. On Saturday, November 1st, there is a 10K for CC. If you have won a ProQuest and you are looking to get good LL practice, go check that out. And then on Sunday, there's going to be a 2.5K, same place, same event. This is in the Pittsburgh area. Make sure that you check that out. It's going to be cool. Make sure you check that event out. It's going to be great practice for Worlds. But yeah, they're doing a lot of cool stuff. !GSC10k in the chat if you haven't checked that out already. So we're going to talk about our 55 card main deck. I have changed this quite a bit from what we were playing the other day. I am no longer on 3 Oath of Loyalties. I'm now on 2. I am now on 3 copies of Burning Blade Dance. I have cut Snatch from the deck. We are on a 3rd copy of Lava Burst. I am trying to be on more Draconic cards in the deck because Oath of Loyalty with some of these cards that are not draconic has felt super clunky. It's felt very weird. Like I don't know. Like we've been working through the deck, and I've left in the cards that I think are just like impactful 0-for-4s. Fire Tenant Strike First, breaking up the Fire Tenant Strike First, like breaking up the damage. Ravenous Rabble just being like a 0-for-4. Cut Through just being a 0-for-4 most of the time with Go Again lines up very, very well. So we're going to cut down to 2 Oath and see how it feels. I cannot be bought into 3. And then as we take a look at the sideboard, I definitely want to talk about some of the cards that I've picked up on and some of the cards I've started playing. Some of them actually come from the Peter Budensick, I think is how you say his last name. I've been calling him Peter B. Peter B's list from the AGE Players Championship in LA. That's this past weekend. I was looking at his list, and some of the cards have straight up come from there, and what I think so, and like how we're playing them. I am still on 3 Overcrowded, Martin, just to kind of answer your question. Like I saw that you said love 2 Overcrowded, but I am on 3. Just the third one's in the sideboard. Better to get off Oath than the good cards like Snatch, Ancestral, and Throw Dagger, in my opinion. I don't know. Like, we have a certain number of Chain Enders that don't involve Snatch. Please remove Art of the Dragon Scale, signed Acilio. Hilarious. There are 3 sideboard cards here that I want to talk about. The first one is Battlefront Bastion. Battlefront Bastion has simply made its way into the sideboard because it is a good popper against Prism. There is no other reason to play this card. Right now, I feel like we are in that weird part of the Prism cycle where Prism is starting to become more popular. Even though OGKO is around, I just feel like Prism is creeping his way back up. I want to be prepared for Prism at Worlds. So we have 3 copies of Battlefront Bastion in the sideboard, plain and simple. There is nothing else. There is nothing else to it. Like, that is straight up it. I want to have Battlefront Bastion in the sideboard to be prepared for this. Let's see. Hang on one second. I think we're in that weird part where, like, we're in that weird circle where Prism's coming back. I genuinely think that. I genuinely believe that. It does kill a Whaler. I mean, it does, but like, come on, get out of here, dude. Is it Kano time? Please, God, no. Any advice for Lyeth playing against Cindra? I feel like the best thing you can do as Lyeth playing against Cindra is to outvalue them. And I know that sounds weird, but like, it depends on what version of the deck you're playing. But I think that efficient blocking is probably one of the best ways to like play against Cindra as Lyeth, and then offer like Short Shrift for 7 or for 6 and force their hand into some weird things. The harvest begins. If Gravy is on Whaler into Cindra, they're trolling. I'm actually inclined to agree with you, Hee-Haw. I don't think that's correct. I do not think that's correct. Should you be on Bluster buff as a popper to less bricking? Bluster? What is this card called? Hang on. Bluster buff. I mean, we could be. So I'm gonna like. I think I like the idea of what you're thinking about here, Dave. I'm gonna say the same thing I always say about 6s into Prism. I think you need to be on 7s. I am a big believer in Battlefront Bastion because it allows you to pop an Angel, get the prevention for the next allows you to pop a Herald, get the prevention for the next Herald, and then from there, if you have like a Shelter from the Storm, you can block it pretty efficiently. Snatch is important versus the top 3 decks of the format, and Pain in the Backside is also. Also, taking out Oath makes it so that you can brick less versus Earth. That's right, 6-7. 6-7. Oh. I mean, maybe we play the deck tonight. Maybe. So, Bernardo, maybe there's a world where we play the deck tonight and we decide that we want to like cut Oath of Loyalty and play Snatch in its place. I do start to become concerned on the lack of Go again at that point. Genuinely start to become concerned on the lack of Go again at that point. I don't know. I'll try it. Like I probably won't change it tonight, but I'll give it a consideration. I appreciate you pointing it out, Bernardo. I appreciate it. Why are you sideboarding for Prism? Because one shot, I think we're in that part of the meta where I think Prism is gonna start to make its comeback at Worlds. I genuinely think that. I genuinely believe that. That is like my tinfoil hat is on, but I want to be prepared for Prism. If you like Oath, go to 3 and add Compounding Anger. I've cut Oath because I don't like... I've cut down to 2 Oaths because I think a 0 for 4 starter is impactful, but it has too many restrictions to play 3. I do not think this card works as a 3. I'll be honest. What makes me say that, Xena? The back of my head. Hang on. I gotta turn my fan on. It's been getting cold at like this time of the year here in Tennessee, so I've like turned my fan off when I started streaming, but it's starting to get warm in here, so I'm turning it on. Are we back on this ninja again? I mean, Josh, I'm testing it for Worlds. You never know. You never know. So yeah, I don't know. Like the back of my brain tells me that we need to be ready for Prism. The next card that I want to talk about is Art of the Dragon Scale. I was originally on 2 of this card, but I've went up to 3 Art of the Dragon Scale. Being able to chew through a defensive deck's equipment is very, very impactful. Verdance, Gravy, any deck that wants to block. Against Acilio, you can get major combo pieces. Against Cindra or Assassins, you can get Flick Knives off the board. Having 3 of this card in our sideboard just feels like a no-brainer to me, especially after seeing Peter Budensek playing this card. Also, like, if we don't have a fealty or a brand with Cinderclaw, this card blocks for 3. So the floor of playing this card is pretty high, which makes me like it in an aggro deck. $43. I have loved Scale since it got printed. Glad people are finally giving me redemption. That's funny. When is the real Ninja Fi coming out? So I gotta level with y'all. I gotta level with y'all. Hang on. The shit's about to get serious for a minute. Ellie won her ProQuest playing Fi. Ashlyn, I think that was her name. I'm pretty sure Ashlyn is her name. She top 4'd the ProQuest I was at 2 weeks ago playing Fi. And she sent me her list, and it looks really cool. Man, my brain, the like part of my brain that's like, don't pivot, stick with the plan, don't pivot, keeps telling me that. But man, I want to play Fi. Like the deck, it feels like Fi feels like it's in its time, it's primed, and it could do very, very well. Seems like it has a good Verdance matchup, slightly favored if nothing else. Seems like it has a good Gravy matchup, slightly favored if nothing else. It does much better into the blocky, grindy matchups like Jarl and Florian, as opposed to like Cindra, in my opinion. I don't know. Pivot to Acilio the night before Worlds, trust. Also, Rake Over the Coals is really cool. Bruno, so they're in my Discord. Somebody posted a link to the Fi deck tech that Ashlyn did. I'm not going to show their list because it's their video. It's their list. I want people to be viewing their stuff. So if you are looking, actually, you know what? Hang on. Hang on. Very rarely. Where's it at? It was just here the other day. I could have sworn somebody just posted the link to this video the other day. Was this in the God, please don't tell me this was in the general chat. All right, never mind. I was gonna send you guys the link so that you all would have it, but I can't find it in my Discord. Somebody posted it the other day, and if not, maybe somebody would be kind enough to post that for us right now as we're sitting here. So, hey, Michael, what's up? Why are you looking so good today? Yo, listen at Taylor. If I had long enough hair, I would flip it over my shoulder, just like I did when I was doing the Pleiades cosplay. Matt, what's up? Play attack action Kano. You can confuse people while losing. I mean, confusion and losing. Hey, Austin. How many finishers and cards that cost 1 do you have in my deck right now? There are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yo, there are 7. 10. There are 10 cards that cost. There are 10 cards that cost 1, and in the main deck finishers we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Most matchups I am boarding up to 8 finishers, maybe 10. I don't know. 6, 7. All right. Maybe I won't say 6, 7 anymore tonight. Maybe I won't say 6, 7 anymore tonight. Next big card that I want to talk about is Parched Terrain. This card has been an absolute house against Verdants. It also seems like it would do a lot of work in the Jarl matchup. I have loved this. Being able to put this into play on turn 0 after you play some cards out, or being able to like arsenal it early so that you can like bait out arsenal disruption. You can also play it in response to like them gaining life. I had a Verdance the other day who played a rampant growth in life on their turn. I got to play this out of my arsenal in response to stop the life gain. They were going to be able to pump up a Burn Bear and like do some extra damage. They also had Ring of Roses in play. So I mitigated probably 6 to 7 life and maybe like 3 or 4 points of pings off of like their hero ability over the course of the game. So if a card like Parched Terrain is able to save probably like 7 to 10 points worth of total value over the course of the game, it's an absolute dub, which makes it a great 2 of in the sideboard for Verdant specifically. Yo, Drew, what's up, dude? Drew, my goat, coming by to hang out. How are you, my dude? How are you, my dude? My man said the stream isn't big enough for 2 Brunos. LOL, that's so funny. Mitigated 6, 7 life, you say? Yeah. 6, 7. All right, I lied. Maybe that's the last time. I can't stop looking at my overcrowded. Oh, dude, the EA or like the EA cold foil overcrowded is nice. I have 1. I need 2 more. I also need another copy of Swing Big, so I'm hoping that both the ProQuests I go to this weekend are going to do me some justice, hopefully. Wow, the handsomest streamer of all time is on. Nice. Yo. God, please. We need a picture of that. I feel like that would be a great meme. Something like that. I don't know.
Go. You love to see it.
LTOcast? I really hope we're gonna go with Elt right now. We're gonna go with Elt. Thank you so much for the follow over on Twitch. I appreciate you being here and hanging out. Means a lot. We got 3 questions we ask everybody when they're new. Guys, that goes for anybody. If you're here for the first time, maybe you've been subbed for a while, maybe you're just now catching a live stream. We got 3 questions for you. What's your name? What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what are your favorite hot dog toppings? Tell me about yourselves in the chat. I would love to get to know more about you guys. You excited for Silver Age? Yes. Yes. I am so excited for Silver Age. I am so pumped for Silver Age. And as soon as Worlds is over, we're probably going to spend the rest of November and December playing Silver Age. Honestly. Oh. Yo, is Rob here? Hyperskates is stealing Rob's joke. Dude, I love it. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. I got a 15-year-old that loves saying 6, 7. Yeah, kids and people like me who are weird on the internet love saying 6, 7. Pretty common. All that love is making me smash the like button. Fabton, what's up, dude? Also, thanks for liking the stream. Sage feels very refreshing to me, and I'm very excited to play it. The last card I'm going to talk about here, and then we'll actually play some games. I'm done yapping y'all to death. It's almost 8 o'clock. I've somehow managed to yap for an entire hour. God help us. Breaking Point has not been in the last couple of iterations of my Cindra list. After watching Peter Budensek play it at the AGE Players Championship, it just feels like a good 2-of to have in the sideboard. Being able to disrupt your opponent's arsenal if it lines up, being able to go like Ignite into Breaking Point is a good 2-card 7. You can also go like Ignite, throw the dagger, like flick, gain a resource, then throw Breaking Point. You have some really cool things you can do with Breaking Point. It's also just another good like arsenal disruption piece against like decks that are looking to block a lot. Maybe if they arsenal a Command and Conquer looking for disruption, or if they arsenal like a Felling of the Crown against like an Earth deck. Breaking Point has a lot of different utility points. So again, with the 3 block having just a high floor on the card, Breaking Point feels like it slots in the sideboard very, very well. All right. I'm done yapping. You guys want to play some games? Probably best you remove the Breaking Point too. Acilio deserves better. We're on the Acilio deserves this and deserves that train tonight, huh? I mean, listen, Acilio is cool. Competitive, classic, constructed. It's been a lot of LL and stuff like that. So, also one thing I wanted to talk about tonight, and guys, I talked about this in the Discord earlier. If you are a Talishar Patreon, I think you have to be a Patreon, or maybe anybody can do this. You can now send friend requests to other people on Talishar. If you send me a friend request on Talishar and we are not like personally like friends in real life, like if I don't know you personally, I'm not going to accept your friend request. I don't mean that to sound rude or bad. That's just where I'm at. I would rather just like have people on my friends list that I actually know personally. So if you send me a friend request and I don't accept it, please don't take it personally. I just wanted to get that out there now while we talked about it. We could be best friends forever on Talishar. All right, let's play against Florian. I wanted to go second. We are going to be on Claw of Viserai. We're going to be on, you know what? We're going to do it this way because I like having these 2 daggers. We're going to be on Mask of the Pouncing Lynx in this matchup. This is... I scrolled. Tell them that we're sideboarding here. Let's see. With our new sideboard, we are off. Where's it at? We're off Wrath of Retribution. We're on Authority. We're on the 3rd Overcrowded. We are on all 3 Art of the Dragon scales, and we're on 1 Breaking Point. Just trying to like go up a blue here since we're adding in more 1 costs. Should make the deck more efficient, theoretically. So that's the idea behind what we're doing. And cutting Wrath just seems to work. Like, anytime I bring in Claw of Viserai, I cut Wrath. That has been working pretty successfully for me in my testing. If anybody has found differently, I'm definitely open to like what other people have been trying. But that is what I've been testing, and that's what's been working for me so far. Also, let's flip this over in case we have something cool happen during the game. I don't like shelters in this matchup, no. I bought a $6 stake and I regret it. Why do you regret it? Surprise pivot to Pleiades? I definitely don't think we have to worry about that happening. This is a very weird hand. I really don't want to let them filter or do anything. I think we're just going to Arsenal the Lava Burst. I think we're just going to pass and Arsenal the Lava Burst. And then hopefully we draw like a good head jab here. Hopefully we draw like a Brand with Cinder Claw or something. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. I guess we can pitch to Cindra and then Arsenal whatever we want. So now that they've done this, we should pitch to Cindra. I probably should have pitched to Cindra regardless. I guess, do we want to Arsenal? We have Link, so we want to put the Lava Burst back into our deck. I think we're going to Arsenal the Ravenous Rabble. Would have drawn a blue. Not the best thing in the world, but okay, I guess. Arsenal the Rabble seems fine here. Lay low is a house of a card in Sage. What is lay low? Is that the defense reaction? Diego, I have not tested any Sage yet. I am waiting till after Worlds before I start really testing Sage. Yo, Yellow Malefic Incantation is interesting. I also really like that they're on Tunic against me. I think that is like just objectively correct. We're just gonna block with Overcrowded. It blocks 3. I guess I should wait and guess this is like a Command and Conquer or something. Should wait in case this is like a Command and Conquer to follow up here. Not that it super matters, but it technically would have been better. So if I let this go, Fi does seem pretty good in Sage. You can't play it if you're marked. Yeah, so I think that one. I think that card's really good. I know exactly which one you're talking about. Let's just lead on Ravenous Rabble, I guess. Hit a blue and cry because that seems to be like, wow. I have managed to hit blues a lot over the last like couple of days. I played a few games yesterday where I hit 2 blues off of Rabble in like 4 games, which was like kind of crazy. You need to give the link for your Yoshi shirt, by the way. Dog, that's a Carly special. I don't have a link for that one. That's a Carly special right there. Carly always hooks me up with the cool shirts. Carly always hooks me up with the cool shirts. This being for 2 is like wildly bad. It's hilarious. They are going to block here. I'm a little surprised to get 3 block on a Ravenous Rabble. Oh, I can block them or send them a friend request from here? That's crazy work. Talishar making it easy, huh? So one of my objectives in this matchup is to arsenal as little as possible. I do think that there are some situations where I need to arsenal. We're just going to go ahead and flick. We are going to gain a resource here. And then I'm going to play the Ronin Renegade because I need to be able to get my daggers back here so that I can like confirm that I have something for next turn. I probably should have waited a chain link to flick there because if I wait, they have to decide to give me Purgatory up front or not. Now, to be fair, if they do give me Purgatory here, like it's their last 2 cards. And then we're just going to throw 4. They're very content with just blocking out. Also, like if you notice, like their build of the deck is very, very aggressive. They're on Rune Flash. So we're just looking to go burr as much as we can. Yeah, you can hit the drop down and send people a friend request, it appears. I am not willing to give up. I am not willing to give up my Mask of the Pouncing Lynx when they're at 35. I want my opponent to be like in the 20-ish range when I start thinking about giving it up. They're going to get 2 Earth cards here. If I put Throw Dagger on the bottom, I can go Ravenous Rabble, flick this dagger, gain a resource, cut through. I can throw the Lava Burst here. Or I could put the Lava Burst on the bottom. And then I could block with Throw Dagger and then go Ravenous Rabble, flick, Claw and Sarakai, throw a 0 for 4. I think that seems better. I think just blocking here. Oh, no, I get daggers back like this on purpose. For anybody who does not know, Martin is a good friend and a... Yo, what the fuck? Two blues in 3 turns off of Ravenous Rabble. It's going to be one of those kind of night, guys. Great. Babble it is, sir. Babble it is indeed. Isn't that the truth? I think with that in mind, we're not going to flick. We're just going to Arsenal. I know that I just talked about how I don't want to be Arsenaling if I can help it, but I think that this is probably an exception to the current scenario that we're in, and we're just going to try to set up a 5-card hand. We're going to immediately get hit with a Command and Conquer. I can feel it. They make a second Rune Champ. What does my hand even do? Our hand is not great. What? I am so confused. Feels like the Aurora days indeed. Just don't run blues. I mean, a lot of lists I've been seeing are on like 6 blues and I'm on like 7. So, you know, my percentages are off apparently. I think we're supposed to pitch the throw dagger here. We have flick available to us. We can end on the Claw of Viserai. Everything else in our hand has go again as long as this hits. I don't even think I said 6 or 7 there, Josh. And still have the worst luck. You know, cards off the top of the deck are not my thing. I think at this point we've confirmed that. Cards on top of my deck do not benefit me well. We're going to pass on adding a counter. We're going to play Fire Tenant Strike first to come in for 3. Then Hot on Their Heels is going to come in for 4. Our opponent had possibly the weirdest hand I've ever seen. They pitched a blue and IP'd 1 card, I guess. Oh, did I really say 6 or 7 blues? Damn it. I've never realized how often I say the number 6, 7. I guess we'll just go ahead and buff this up. We are here to pump you up. Well, we can build this dream together, standing here forever. I've had the song Nothing's Gonna Stop Us by Starship in my head lately. And by lately, I mean like literally like the last like 24 hours. I think I heard it during a commercial last night when Carly and I were watching the game. This deck hates you? I mean, listen. If Cindra is not nice, we'll play Jarl. You'll go back in the freaking box. All right, that's as threatening as I can get against the Cindra deck. That's true. My head is in every era tonight. Very true, Martin. Very true. Well, I needed that to connect so that we could generate a fealty token, but, you know, beggars and choosers and all that. We're just going to use Flick Knives on the Kunai here. We're going to throw the Art of the Dragonfire, get our daggers back, and we're going to ship it back. Yo, Abby, what's going on? Of course you're able to make it by on a night when I'm not playing Aurora. Abby, I did play Aurora at my ProQuest this past weekend. And I went 5-2 playing the deck. My only 2 losses were to RuneGate Chain at the event. I lost in round 2 to the deck, and then I lost to it in top 4. Both piloted by Willie B. So that's right, in the freezer. You tell the deck, Damien. You tell Aurora. Or I'm sorry, Cindra. I would never speak that way about Aurora. Would never speak that way about Aurora. What are they keeping? What are they keeping? What are those? Man, I really am in like every. I am back on. I think the deck is cope though. I don't know. Ban list is good for Aurora. I agree. Ban list is good for Aurora, and I'm just happy to see it. So they've not made an aura this turn. We're gonna say no blocks. I don't know what I'm about to get juiced by. This version of the deck that they're playing is so cool. Dude, they're cooking. We're getting torched right now. Oh. Dude, Wyatt, I may need some Cindra coaching, man. Like, it turns out I'm not good at Cindra. I'm only watching because it's you. Cindra is just below gravy on my hate list. Well, Trinary, I appreciate you watching and hanging out tonight. It means a lot. We are going to play Jarl tomorrow. I still don't know if I'm playing Cindra or Jarl at my ProQuest this weekend. Okay. So we have two options here. We can take 4, pitch Art of the Dragon Scale to Kunai, Burning Blade Dance, flick, gain a resource, Breaking Point. I think that is better than blocking 3 and attacking for 3. Fatigue Cindra or aggro Jarl? Oh, Sean, I'm sorry, man. I skipped over the finals because I wasn't a part of it. But yeah, the finals was Dash.io versus Willie B playing RuneGate. It was actually Sean who's hanging out in the finals. Oh, yeah, we're super freaking cooked this turn. This is so bad for us. Yeah, that's terrible. I mean, what the hell are we supposed to do with this? We throw 3, they block, and then flick and arsenal this, I guess? I don't know. This feels bad. Fatigue Cindra makes my ears bleed. Hey, Leo, what's up? You're a great Cindra. Thanks, Rose. I appreciate it. But yeah, it was Dio. I mean, I don't need to flick here. If they let this hit, this is good for us. Like, something tells me they aren't going to, but I guess I can pitch Breaking Point to get my daggers back. Like, that's probably better than arsenaling and leaving myself open to something. It's just having both of my daggers back. But yeah, it was RuneGate Chain versus Dash.io in the finals. And it was a very interesting game. It was a very interesting game. Let's just leave it at that. See, we made the right decision. So we're going to do this. We're going to block with the flight path here. We just need a couple of good turns to get it, like, get going here. It's crazy how good that Succumb to Temptation was. Jarl might honestly be waiting to tag in at this point. It's okay. We're doing okay. Our like we're in an okay spot. The fact that it's turn 6 and we've not drawn a single just like non-conditional fealty generator is not great, but like if you see fealty generation early, you're going to be better off. IMO, in my opinion, man, I am all over the place. Like I'm literally like saying acronyms out loud. Imo. Willie B was going to come play my local LLPQ yesterday, but no. I mean, he won. I'm sorry, man. I mean, him and Sean played interesting finals. Do I want to go get Lava Burst here? I mean, it feels like we're at that point, right? Like, I think we're at that point in time where we're supposed to do this. Man, I have not seen Florian play. I have not seen Florian play Succumb to Temptation yet. What are the chances we go to Yokohama? All right. So I said at the beginning of the stream that there was like a 0% chance I was going to Yokohama. We were going to go on vacation with Carly's mom and dad and her brother and her sister, like early next year was the plan. That's why we weren't going to go to Yokohama. But Carly's parents, my in-laws, had something come up. And so they are doing other vacation plans that they had like previously made that I think they forgot about. I don't really know. Or maybe they hate me. Just kidding. It's not that. We worked over that bridge a long time ago. And so we're no longer doing that. So now there is a non-zero chance that I go to Yokohama. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's even probable at this point. But there is a non-zero chance that Carly and I go to Yokohama. I mean, if our opponent gives us face purgatory, it like they would have had to have given it before we popped mask. They like let this hit and we used it here, which means there was not a window for them to use it effectively and stop us from doing what I wanted. Stop me from doing what I wanted. And they must have something pretty impactful here. They're obviously going to throw a felling at me. That's the only... Did another Earth card go to the bin? Yes, 2 of them did. So they're clearly going to felling and then try to use Purgatory to slow me down? Yeah. So put Fire Tenant Strike first on the bottom. Take 8 to 13. Attack with Ravenous Rabble. Actually, let's put Lava Burst on the bottom right. And then it's Rabble, Strike first, Art of the Dragon Scale. Is just better here. I hate going to 13. I need $1 billion 3D printing business like you wouldn't believe. Yo, what? Chase out here just trying to... what? My kid is 100% down, but you're trying to convince your wife? That's funny. If we get hit with the Purgatory right here, we're going to flick the Claw of Viserai, gain a resource, and we're going to throw Art of the Dragon Scale off the fealty. If that would have been another Rabble for 2, I might have cried. Might have actually cried if that was another Rabble for 2. I started this turn at 40 and now I'm at 5. What are you playing against, Rose? And if he gets in trouble, just 3D print an alibi? Oh. Guh, I don't know how to feel that you're disappointed that we didn't hit a Rabble for 2 right there. I don't know how I should take that. We can build a thing together. Don't do it. I was like, don't do it. I thought you were a connoisseur, sire. And you are, thank you. God, that would have been so bad for us. This being for 6 is pretty good. Because it means we can just get Tunic or Well Grounded here. Y'all get printers. Let's start a franchise. Oh, a friend-chise? Yo, I like that. Listen, guy, I do agree with you. It would be an absolutely amazing YouTube short. It would be an amazing YouTube short. I do not like how this game is going. I do not like how this game is going at all. They actually don't currently have enough Earth cards to decompose, which is kind of nice. So even if they draw like a Rubon Carapace, it doesn't matter here. Aggro Prince 96. And bans, man, initially locked on COIB new, pivoted to chain. Now I'm playing Aurora, I guess. I mean, I gotta tell you, Randy, like, it feels like it just made Aurora just a little bit better. Just a little bit better. And honestly, you love to see it. You love to see it. Well, I love to see it. I mean, sure, they can boots, like, they have options. Can we 3D print me a better local record? Oh. Boots incoming? I mean, you can't take them with you, right? Yeah, I was like, it's gotta be. Heart of the Dragon Blood, Arsenal to cut through. Because they're going to block 3. Sadly, it's their first card out of hand. If this is felling number 3, we're in a pretty tough spot. This is going to eat the last damage of Prevention they have. Honestly, if they give me 2 cards in Purgatory here, I feel pretty good about that because it means they don't have something super impactful in their hand. You kind of need to know what your opponent is playing for censor. It's very true, Taylor. That's very true. Rose, what are you playing against? Wally decided he was going to rip my soul out? Rabble for 2 can be the Agroblaze 96 campaign slogan. Wait, what am I campaigning for? Tell you what am I campaigning for? I would like to know what you all think I should campaign for. Viserai?
Let's freaking go. You love to see it.
Here, Bezinos. Thank you so much for the follow over on Twitch. I appreciate you being here and hanging out. Guys, if you are here for the first time or you're new to the channel, we got 3 questions we ask everybody when they're new. And they are, what's your name? What got you into Flesh and Blood? And what are your favorite hot dog toppings? Tell me about yourself. I'd love to get to know more about you guys while you're here tonight. Cooked up a tough nut list. I'm ready to go 0-4 at every side at Worlds. That's funny. Okay. So we do get that here. Interesting. That all of a sudden makes me feel better about my positioning. Like, we chew through every piece of their equipment in one turn, and, like, it all just depends on what they have in their hand, right? We're going to go to 7. It's going to be 7-7. And then they don't have any equipment left. Their hero ability is 1 decompose away from being turned on. I mean, are they not playing Rubon Carapace? It's been 9 turns. I guess anything's possible. Campaign for a better LL meta? I'm going to give this one a shot. Campaign for Aurora 2.0 being only slightly worse than Aurora 1.0 in CC. You know what? That's something I can get behind. That's you could twist my arm. You could twist my arm into that. They are on Rubon Carapace, and it's a yellow one. Interesting. I mean, yeah. All right, so you take one here. We need to force 3 cards out of our opponent's hand. Pretty much the rest of the game. Which is not going to be super easy to do. Jarl does need a new signature weapon. Facts, though. Run for governor of the new set. Since it's pinned, let's say governor of Pin Island. Derek just threw it back to middle school right there. And you know what? I almost walked right into that. Y'all be out here trolling me thinking I ain't noticing. Well, to be fair, most of the time I don't notice. But still. Betsy needs her weapon much more. That's facts, though. Facts, though, Leo. Facts, though. Making copies.
Show me what you got.
I'm just going to start clicking random things on the soundboard because I want to. Them having to pitch this here is so good for us. Anything can happen off the top of the deck. We could draw unplayable nonsense, but like this puts us in a very good spot. Nope. Yikes. Yikes. The deck feels pretty good in my opinion. Doug, I'm glad that it went well. I am glad that it went well. All right, what defensive pieces are we worrying about? There's 0 copies of Reduced to Rune Chant. There is 1 Haunting Rendition left in the deck. There's 1 copy of Felling left. All right, so Crack a Fealty 4, 4, 5 with a flick. What if I play the Art of the Dragonfire for like unpreventable damage here? I mean, I am at 7 and they have 2 Rune Chants in play. Pitch this to a dagger? No, that's the best line that we have is to crack the fealty here. I don't have another choice, do I? This is a hand of all time. Can we communally do some sort of ritual to remove every copy of Decimator Great Axe from existence? Asking for a friend. So I gotta tell you, Donald, it doesn't sound like you're really asking for a friend. Now I'm okay with that. You can be asking for you. No judgment here. I mean, I am playing Fatigue Jarl at Worlds, so like you're having a tough time convincing me to get rid of all of the, fatigue stuff. What are the odds they have drawn a full hand of Rubon Carapaces? I'm gonna say probably close to 0. Is this yellow Rubon Carapace? Oh no, they can't decompose again. Okay. If we throw 4 and flick, we just like can't die, right? If I throw 5, if I throw 4, they can take 1 from flick, go to 4, and then block with tunic, go to 1. So I have to throw this to ensure that they don't Felling of the Crown me here. If my man isn't just being aggro and blazing right now, listen, everybody's always like, oh, Fatigue Berg 96. Nah, we're aggro blazing tonight, son. Also, Trent, what's up, dude? Victor already had his signature weapon. It's a mansion. I mean, pretty good signature weapon, right? Actually, I was having this conversation with somebody this weekend about like how good Miller's Grindstone like really is. Wow, who said they had a handful of Rootbound Carapace? Somebody pour one out for that person because you were 110% correct. Wow. What an impeccable call. Take 3, go to 2. 3, 3, 5. Take a card, take a card. They stay at 4, throw 5. They have to block with 1 card, but we get our daggers back. And then we don't die this turn to them keeping a card. By an instant or a Jarl list? You have my attention. At first you had my interest. Now you have my attention. That's interesting. Is aggro Victor possible? I mean, I think aggro Victor is the best way to play it, right? Top it? Like, I think that's just like objectively the best way to play the deck. That's what I would say. I still vote for a rebrand since you're a Guardian main now. Nah. Listen. We be, you know, aggro Guardian in and up sometimes. Aggro Victor is kind of the whole deck. I agree very much. I love Miller's Grindstone. I actually think Miller's Grindstone is a lot better than everybody wants to give it credit for. Oh, dog. About to get juiced. We're going to call our opponent Lemonhead because they're about to get juiced. I completely stole that joke from Carly. She made that joke at Taylor's expense the other night, and it was hilarious. Taylor and I played an LL game to practice the other day, and I went like I played all 3 Arc Lightnings and all 3 Channel Lightning Valleys in the first 3 turns of our game, and I absolutely juiced Taylor, and I was telling Carly this, and she was like, oh, because he's bald and looks like a lemon? And I was like, okay, first off, that's diabolical, but hilarious, and it was great. We're going to get both of our daggers back. All right, this is good because if there are any D-Reacts left, we're about to make them respect our authority. I heard Victor and I'm here. AQ, what's up? And that wasn't a typo. I mean the whole damn state. I mean, it's pretty on point, Trent. Pretty on point. Ooh. Ew. That one card is about to buy them so much room. That's so obnoxious. That's so obnoxious. Wow. That's not very cash money of them. No aggro, no blaze. I just realized you playing Fatigue Jarl is completely anti-ethical to your name. You know, we do what we can, right? You know, we do what we can. And that's just the sad truth. We do what we can out here. Listen, guys, you know, it's hard being a content creator. You know, I have to sit down, play my favorite game multiple days a week, talk to people I love hanging out with. I mean, it's difficult, you know? Like, the stresses of being a content creator is real. It's real, guys. So we'll just go ahead and flick this. If we get a dagger back and go 1-2, there's no guarantee we win. This does not force our last card, but the Viserai is going to. Aggro Blaze, more like Calming Extinguish. Yo. My username on Discord is Frozen Solid. I main Cindra. We all make marketing mistakes. I don't think anybody's ever referred to my name as a marketing mistake. I love that. Fatigue blazing. I'm here for it, Corey. Oh, man. You guys crack me up. So I'm actually going to not put them to 1. Wait, no, they're just dead here, right? Oh my gosh, no. Oh wait, we can still win here. It doesn't matter, right? Yeah, they're just dead here because of the I about threw this game away. Phew. We gotta learn to count. And by we, I mean me, it's me. I gotta learn to count, guys. Yeah. So that was a 12 turn game. We had the 20 there in the middle. I'd be willing to bet that was the yeah, I'm willing to bet that was the the Mopal turn. I bet we broke Mopal there. Yeah, I almost threw that game away. Yeah, I'm glad that we found it. I'm glad that we found it. Yeah, so we should have went dagger. Like it was the same. Like how I played it was the same as how it would have ended no matter what. So it worked out. It worked out in the end for us there. We got a win against Florian. What was the turn that really went my direction? The succumb turn was pretty bad, but the turn where they what was the turn that was really good for us late? Was it the turn where they made 2 rune chants and passed? Game was super close. Op had a turn late where they made 2 where they made a rune chant and passed off grasp. IP1 and Arsenal. Not sure what was in their hand, but this let us keep 4 cards and take tempo. Okay, so late in the game, we were able to get the tempo that we wanted and kind of get it all together there. Worked out pretty well in the end. Guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys chilling. If you are here for the first time and you are new to the channel, like, follow, subscribe, all those free buttons, they go a long way in helping me out. I'd greatly appreciate it. It means a lot. An altered claw? I do not have an altered claw of Viserai. I do not have an altered claw of Viserai. I do have altars of the kunais and altered of the mark and the altars of the mark and the fealty. I do have a sideboard guide for Jarl. I'm only on 60 in my sideboard here, and I don't think that's correct. We're supposed to be on all of this. I don't have the parched terrain in either. Let's try it without parched terrain and see how it feels. We're on both the blues and Art of the Dragon Scale. Do I want to try and be on breaking points here? Like just as extra, like 1 for 5s, and it just puts us above 60? No, you know what? Let's play the 60. Let's test it with the 60 and see how it feels. I'm curious to know how it feels with the 60. Jarl, we are going second. This is also one of those matchups that's going to like tell us a lot. Uh-oh, Carly just started playing Marvel Rivals. Look out, everybody. Gonna go get an Imposing Visage to target my Flick Knives. It's a very good turn 0 start. This hand, Chief called, that hand was not it. But they had to have clicked on the wrong thing there. They had to have clicked on the wrong thing there. If we can squeeze in the altar for worlds, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Especially if it's like when I can pick up from you at worlds, that would be awesome. Because like to change out the price of the card, I would even give you the claw that I have. Just to and I would pay for like the actual time and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. If that's a thing, let me know. I believe there's one person on the Purple Discord who made Cindra altars with the Hero Kunai Claw drawn in the black and white Disney style. Oh, that's kind of cool. How you feeling about Daredevil and Rivals? He's very obnoxious. Daredevil is hard to play against. I have been on the struggle bus against Daredevil. TBH. This is one of those matchups where we want to be throwing daggers as much as possible. They're going to try and loop us at the end of the game. So we have to try and make sure that we can prevent that by being aggressive enough. I mean, I guess I should flick there so that we can force mask. Well, kind of sucks. I was looking forward to playing that game. The hero that I think is going to be a part of the meta, and I wanted to make sure that we knew how to play against it. So I kind of hate that they just left. Against Dio, we want to go first. I honestly don't remember how I boarded a Dio. I've got my buttons set up for anybody who's a YouTube member or Twitch subscriber. I've got the whole thing set up, but for all of you guys, we go up and overcrowded. We are on one breaking point, and we're on shelters. It appears is what we're doing. Trying to block a little effectively, and then just targeting their arsenal. Art of the Dragon Scale seems kind of mediocre. They're not gaining life, so parched terrain's not going to matter. Bastion's only a popper. I think this is how I have it set up. We're going to see how it feels. Hang on, let me dash IO. We are going first. We're going to try and get aggressive on turn 0. We want to push the tempo if we can. I think Jarl's going to be a meta contender at Worlds. It's an off the cuff meta contender, but it is a meta contender in my opinion. It's weird that I'm willing to give up a counter on the chest here, but I think it's worth. Wow, willing to block with heart here, huh? I am willing to save the fealty token here for another turn and only have one dagger. We were able to put them down to 31 and Arsenal a D-React. This feels fine to me. Snatch would be terrible with this hand as well. Okay. Wow. I think we always have to item check them on turn 0. I guess that person wanted a hard Jarl matchup. I mean, it's still they still have to know how to play that matchup. Wow, this hand is so bad. This hand is so bad. But it was me, Dio. I mean, so it is worth noting that Snatch also sucks here. They're just using these to like soak up a bunch of damage. Interesting. I mean, we're gonna break the combat chain, and then I'm gonna overpitch to get both my daggers back, and we're just gonna pass. It does not feel great, but I think this is the hand we were dealt. That hand was virtually unplayable, unfortunately. Wow, they hit a processor off the top? That sucks. And they crank it, so this comes in for 7. And they can still Dio. Not having that fealty feels really bad. So again, like Oath of Loyalty was bad, but Snatch would not have been any better in that hand. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and play it. We'll just block for efficiency here. Overcrowded does not block for 3. It only blocks for 2, unfortunately. So I will just be keeping it as a blue. And this lets them opt 1. I would actually rather not let them opt. Lets them churn through their deck. So I think just using equipment efficiently is fine here. Maybe I was supposed to save the shelter for a more relevant on-hit effect. Dang! Getting to add a counter to your processor here is insane. Yeah, I mean, take your pick. My hand sucks, so. Taking the Ignite is clearly the best pick here. Like, it's not even close. Taking the Ignite is far and away the best pick. It turns on my whole hand, basically. So we're just gonna take 2. Fall to... Should I block this? Should we block 2 and just Arsenal? It's block 2 or throw 3, right? Let's just throw 3. They don't have an Arsenal set up, so like if they draw into a big hand, it's unfortunate for us, but there's not a ton we can do. We're just going to attack for 3 and flick. Since you were going to flick and pitch to Cindra, it should have been cut through, pitching. Should have been cut through and blood, pitching the Oath and saving the fealty. I mean, it's 1 less point of offense, right? Was my concern. Like, I guess, is the fealty worth 1 point of offense? And I feel like it's so situationally dependent on what I draw, is what I would say. But I mean, yeah, the not having the fealty hurt me really bad that second turn. I was just going to... Yeah, I don't know. Like, the cut through only being for 3 feels pretty bad. Man, we are just... Hands are just not lining up right now. All right, well, their hand's bad too, so that's good. They can get a Techlocore. I mean, this thing's for 10. I'm not... God, they've boosted items at the top twice? No, Rose, they had 2... Rose, they had 2 Dissolving Shields in play with 5 total counters. The cut through was never going to be for that turn, was why I made that play. So we're going to pitch hot on their heels to attack with the dagger. Actually, do I pitch the Ancestral Empowerment? No, we want to save it for Mask, right? I mean, fuck it, we ball. We're taking 10. Yeah, the shield is what made that so bad. Fealty's worth at least 1 for sure. So it was worth attacking for 3 to be able to... Was worth attacking for 3 to be able to save the fealty for another turn. That's fair. That makes a lot of sense, Kevin. I don't hate that. They're going to get, like, what, a Fast and Furious back? I mean, just using the backup protocol, knowing I don't want to block it, makes a lot of sense. They said they're thinking. Cindra's bricks do feel pretty bad. That's one of my big concerns about playing the hero at a tier 4 like Worlds. But the other side of that coin is that, you know, I'm always hoping to get a little lucky. Like, I'm just always hoping to get a little lucky. That is just playing Flesh and Blood, I think. So Ooh, they get max V and they're going to arsenal it. So I'm going to go to 15 and they're going to arsenal max V. Yeah, we need it, so we might as well. I hate pitching the hot on their heels there. Like, honestly, hate it so much. Wow, this is a really good draw. Especially if they give us mask with no fight. How can we pressure them the most here? I think this is it, right? I mean, I guess technically we could have went 4-5-5. 4-5-5 is 14. It forces them to block. This is 12. This does not force them to block. I mean, I guess they just give up Crown of Providence, right? No, they have to give us a card here. So we crack a fealty and we play this because it has go again. Yeah, this is just technically better, right? Saying that I think she is one of the most consistent heroes in the game. What are we talking about, Frazier? Like which hero are we referring to? Yeah, this is 4-5-5. And then we're gonna give this go again. Does the extra dagger push do more here? So they're gonna go to 4. This comes in for 5. So the extra dagger's actually what forces a card out of their hand. Like we're gonna refresh. Oh, gotcha. When she is constant, she's very consistent, but when she bricks hard. That's fair. See here, the fealty is worth 2 more damage plus chest counter. Had we had it, that's true. Very true. And you have to give me a card here. You cannot just give me Crown of Providence. You have to give me a card, which lines up very well for me considering we're at 15. They put a card from their hand on the bottom. I am actually so okay with this. It's crazy. I was going to block with Mask anyway this turn. Okay. That hurts. If they drew into a card that lets them play Max V here, we might just be dead. Take 5, go to 9. Like, there's no world we're blocking this out, right? I don't think there's any world we can block this out. Block 4, take 6. Go to 3. They can use gun to put us to 1 if they want. We're going to go dagger, which they can take into 4. I would love for this to have go again right now. They give us a 3 block and go to 1. And then we're playing to next turn. Ugh, man. This is not great. I needed to be able to force more damage on this turn. There just wasn't a hand available to us that did it, unfortunately. They definitely have items to get back, right? Yeah, like real items that matter. So we have to block this. So we're dead. Yeah, we're just dead. We're going to go to 1. They're going to shoot the gun at us, and we're going to block it, and then they're going to accelerator, and we're going to die. Man, close game. That is unfortunate. That's a close game. We need 1 more point. Let's see. We threatened 12. I mean, threatening 5-4 and then 25 is really bad. What was their threatened? Yeah, see, they had much more consistent numbers. Those 2 turns of 4s and 5s killed us. So if we draw a hand that is like somewhat functional on the oath turn, we're in a pretty good spot. The 2 more damage. So like we needed 1 more damage. If we throw the cut through and we save the fealty token for the following turn where we needed the Art of the Dragonfire, we actually find 2 more points of damage. We lose 1, but we find 2 more points of damage, which means that we go +1, which means we force 2 cards. There's a snowball's chance in hell they throw Max V at us, and we win the game by commanding fashion. That is where we win the game, off of my misuse of the fealty token. It's very easy for me to sit here and say, oh, if we hadn't drawn like the crappiest hand in the world on turn 2, we would have been fine, which is true. But if I played better and looked for every point, we would have won the game. So even though it like panned out very poorly for us, we still could have won that game. And that's a very good note to have moving forward. Turn 2 was a hard brick with Op having 5 counters of dissolving shield prevention. If I save the fealty, it's worth +1 points. +1 point that wins me the game later. Op could not have thrown Max V with 1 more point. Very important to like keep track of this kind of stuff, because this is the kind of stuff that like I need to like start. Like if I am going to play Cindra and CC, I definitely need to have stuff like this down before we get to Worlds. 110%. You had the empowerment to force the Hot on Their Heels hit. So if the Hot on Their Heels turn that you're referring to, Wyatt, like we had display loyalty, 1 for 5, or we had display loyalty. Like it was give up damage or give up display loyalty, right? So if we give up display loyalty, we're -1 fealty regardless. if we give up the damage, the fealty doesn't have enough reach for us to get there then. So I think it's kind of like... There was also a world where you could have pitched the Blaze to Kunai, Hot, Display, and you would have gotten 2 fealty for the Blood plus Fire. Oh, you're talking about like on the combo turn. So on like, or like, I guess not combo turn, but like, I guess so we give up 1 damage and we make up an extra 1. So we give up 1 point and then go +2 that turn. So that's also the extra point we needed, I guess. That would have worked too. That's good to know. I don't know. Like, I feel like pitching the 0 for 4 is not something that's ever in my mind. All right, I do not have a Rhinar guide for this matchup. Do we want to be on Mopal? I honestly have no idea what we're doing. Are we just on Art of the Dragon Scales and a Breaking Point is probably the play? Authority probably doesn't matter. Are they on defense reactions? I don't know. Somebody can correct me after this. I mean, this hand's pretty good, right? Oath, Ignite, Dagger, Lava Burst, Flick, Arsenal, Art of the Dragon Scale. It's probably one of the better Oath hands I've seen. Snatch is not good in this hand. Snatch is not good in this hand. Playing its Rhinar, and we are going first. So there were 2 turns during the game where we could have found the extra point. That's so interesting to think about. We're just going to block 4 here. I hate that the game puts, like, defaults putting your daggers out. Let me pick what I want, dang it. Just kidding. Talishar is phenomenal. Talishar is, like, constantly doing updates and improving the game, and I love it so much. Like, I'm always so appreciative of Talishar. Why did they block 6 here? This is not a good block. I mean, makes absolutely 0 sense to block 6 right there. We are going to get our dagger back. It was never about mask this turn. It was always about pushing damage. It's worth noting they should be 3 life higher. They should be at 35. We're going to play the game with that in mind. We are going to play the game with that in mind. Yeah, that was a crazy block. I agree. I don't know if like they're just like trolling or having a good time or what, but we're going to play the game like they're at 35. Quest, I have no idea what they were doing. Maybe they're watching the stream and they're just like, watch this. We're just going to troll. I mean, oh, by the way, Carly bought me this like Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar Blackberry. It's gas. It's so good. Yeah, I'll take 6. This is fine. What's your favorite drink right now? I'd never had it till today, but like it's really good. I like it a lot. They'll probably try to get Fleshback on this turn since they have an agility and a might. Feels like it's probably a little early for them to give it up, but Brutes are pretty aggressive players most of the time with their equipment. So, like, Card and Fleshbag is just so good here. No, huh? Well, that lets us not get blown out by Fleshbag the rest of the turn. So I'm okay with this. What are they doing? They have to be trolling us, right? They have to be trolling us. This absolutely has to be troll. If not, I have no idea what they're doing. They're 110% watching the stream and trolling us right now. And they're letting the sash go. We draw off of mom. I didn't get my other dagger back. Shit. Oh well. I don't think it matters. Not because like I think the game's over, but just because like I don't think having 2 daggers is gonna matter. If we drew Wrath of Retribution, I would have cried myself to sleep. It's very possible that our opponent is new to the game. Ooh, that's not very cash money of you, my friend. So what are we doing here? If I take 7, I can go 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5. Arsenal display loyalty. Okay, sure. Oh, they want tear limb from limb value. So now, never mind. Our turn's just like goaded. So we're gonna take 12. I mean, I guess Reinar could play the new gloves. Are you talking about the Apex piece, Joey? I'm so glad you brought up the arm piece because that reminds me. I got to message somebody back. I was talking to somebody about potential trades, and I've got to message them back. I meant to message them and I forgot. This is not an effective way to push Masca momentum for what it's worth, but I wanted the most draconic chain links. I should have saved the 4 for after this. We do not care about getting an extra counter here for the resources. It's very possible they are just a new player. It is very possible they are just a new player. We do not need to reduce anything. We're just going to throw Lava Burst and Arsenal Ronin Renegade. I'm going to get both of my daggers back here. Worlds is in like 2 weeks, and I'm still not sure what I'm playing in CC or LL. I have an idea on both, but bans today got me questioning LL. I think it's got a lot of people that way, Bubble. I think a lot of people feel that way. Feels like a pretty common opinion. A lot of people, like, I feel like
Lizard.
this is exactly how people feel after today's announcement. We'll take 5. Hopefully we just don't die. Which isn't a bad place to be in a format that makes your opponent answer a lot of questions. Yeah, I actually think that Aurora got a pretty, like, I'm not going to say like a massive buff, but I think Aurora, like, stocks went up a little bit. I think Aurora stocks went up a little bit in LL with the bans today. So I'm not going to get this back. I mean, it's obnoxious. But, like, fine. Like, the Splatter Skull was, like, annoying there, but I think she's better than Briar now without Thorn. I mean, Briar's just now forced into playing. All of the Rune Blades are probably forced into playing with Duskblade. And so, like, if all the Rune Blades are playing Duskblade, then like Warmonger's just got a lot better, which means we just got a lot more stonks from Aurora. I don't know. I definitely think that Briar got hurt quite a bit with the bans. Like Thorn going hurts Briar, I think, as like a side note more than anything. I mean, Chain got pushed back a touch, but like nothing insane. Let's see, we got to win. Up seemed new to Reinar. Blocked with equipment at very inopportune times. I have no idea if that's how you spell inopportune. Allowed me to push the tempo and stay ahead all game. All right. Let's keep going. Let's get some more games in. I think I've got my decks prepped. I'm going to embody my mentor, Taylor Crawford, and play Marlin and CC and Azalea and LL. I mean, same, right? Different, but same. Oh, yo, it's flying bread. What is this? I'm just telling them that like seeing them not on a Guardian is like a very weird like moment because like I feel like I always see them playing Guardian. So we put in the third overcrowded, all 3 Art of the Dragon scales, and we're on 1 breaking point since we're going second. He just said, I know. Oh, that's funny. If we're going first, there's probably some consideration to like putting in shelters here, but since we're going second, we're just going to try and go. Oh, I actually am supposed to put in the shelters, and I forgot. Like a complete forehead. This is why I like having the buttons better than anything else. Yes, I get in Thursday if you were talking to me. If that question was for me, yes, I get in Thursday. All the stops, the hybrid damage hero would be a problem. I know, right? Crazy. I'm assuming this is supposed to be Ignite into Kunai. No. I mean, yeah, we'll just block efficiently, I guess. Okay. Interesting. Not the best hand in the world, but who knew? I'm not being fair. I'm just playing Cindra until Aurora 2. I am very excited for Aurora 2 personally. I supposed to go rabble into this so that I can save the empowerment for this? Probably, right? We're not going to be able to get our dagger back here, so we're just going to have to let one go. I think I'm content with just arsenaling the brand, right? Let's throw this, flick a dagger, and then just be content with our 15-point life lead here and hope it's good enough by going second. Yo, if there is an adult Marvel Aurora in the question, then, you know, I mean, you guys know where my money's going to go, right? Like, it's not even really a question. If there is an adult Marvel Aurora, I will be buying it. Being able to block with both throw daggers is pretty good here. It's Oath, Brand, Flick, gain a resource. Heart of the Dragonfire is pretty solid. I'm going to take 3 here. We're going to try to deny mask. Hopefully this is like a 3. If the next thing's a 4, we're going to block with dagger and flight path. If this is gain a resource into Art of the Dragon Scale, we're in a bad spot. That does not feel great. So we're going to block 6 and throw 4. Interesting. What could you possibly have that's worth throwing here? I mean, I'd like to throw 4, but I'd rather than be off of an arsenal. So I'm just going to let this happen. I'm just going to block here. We're still up 7. They no longer have a way to give like Chain Enders go again. And we got a pretty good card in our arsenal here. Okay. I mean, this hand's insane. So we're probably just giving them mask here, right? Yeah, this hand's just good. We're just going to have to give it up and go here. You technically have the very first open Marvel Lyeth, and I will treasure that forever, even if Lyeth is, like, not great. I mean, I think we're about to take a billion and go nuts. The biggest question is going to be, how do I sequence this turn correctly? Yeah, it's just not worth blocking. We're just going to let it go. Is that 2 first Fire Tenant Strike first? This is going to be for 5. Feels bad, but it is what it is. This is a great hand. We just have to hope it's good enough. I mean, being off 1 dagger does feel kind of bad, but that's okay. Because we still get to throw 3 daggers here. Make a second fealty token. I mean, they're just going to push as much damage as they can as possible. The crazy part is like we were at 31 when this turn started, and now we're at 10. We're gonna save the Burning Blade dance until after we throw the Wrath. Because I'm pretty sure this is just 3/3, throw the brand, throw Wrath. Is there a world where if they block here, we're supposed to flick and then throw Burning Blade Dance and get both of our daggers back? And like set up Wrath for next turn? Wrath is stupid, I agree. It's a very broken card. Will I be at the world premiere in London in February? Probably not. Three, 5, 7 flick. Actually, it's throw this, right? No, it's 3, 5, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Or I'm sorry, 3, 5, 8, 9, 11, 13, 15, 18. So the rest of our turn is 18 points, which means they are at minimum required to block with 1 card if they have a defense reaction. If not, it's 1 card and equipment. Honestly, wish we drew something a little bit better than Rising Resentment here. So this puts them to 6. We do not need a counter here. Not going to show them information. This is actually a really good turn. I mean, to be fair, almost any turn that involves Wrath is like insane, right? So we target this. We do not need a resource. This forces Mask at minimum. This forces a card. For probably a 3 block. Because if they give us a 2 block here, then they're going to take a dagger and go to 1. So it's probably just like block 3. I mean, I guess they could give like something in chest. And we have no daggers for next turn, which is scary. Ignite, demonstrate devotion, crack a fealty for Art of the Dragon Blood. I mean, we have to be able to keep this hand, but this hand's insane if we can, right? They don't have Mask, so we're just worried about like physical damage that we're going to take. If we take 4, go to 3. We're going to take 2 and go to 5. If I have to, I'll block with Art of the Dragon Scale because I think that's the most efficient way to play out our hand. There's also a world where, like, if I can give Flick Knives here, I will, right? Because if I can give Vest and Flick Knives, that's also okay with me. Because our hand is Ignite, Demonstrate Devotion, Crack a Fealty for Art of the Dragon Blood, Crack a Fealty for Art of the Dragon Scale, which is 6, 10, 15, but they're at 2. We don't need Flick Knives to close the game out. I was on 0 copies of Shelter this game. I think we're supposed to be on Shelters, to be honest. It's just an extra copy of 0 for 4s. Fatigue Bread said that they're thinking, so like we're just kind of like chilling while they're thinking here for a minute. Guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. We talked about this earlier in the stream. If you have not checked it out yet, make sure you look it up. Exclamation point GSC10K in the chat. Green Tree Sports Cards is having a 10K on Saturday, November the 1st for CC in the Pittsburgh area. And they're having one on Sunday. It's a Living Legend 2.5K. So if you've already won a ProQuest, make sure you check that out. It'd be a good chance to like practice for Worlds and get some good reps in. That's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. For anybody who has not checked that out, make sure you do. So they're going to gain both of their resources. Do we block with the Ignite here? If I block with Ignite, I can go crack a fealty for Art of the Dragon Blood, demonstrate devotion, into crack a fealty for Art of the Dragon Scale. And then when they throw... They're going to get their daggers back for free, throw one at me. I'm going to block with Blood Splattered Vest. I'm going to take 1 down to 2 and then take the flick to 1. And then our return is 4/4/5. Actually, I should just block with flick here, right? Just to not get cheesed by something. Like, what are we getting cheesed by at instant speed? Nothing, right? So flick means they can't take a single point of damage, so we're just supposed to go to 1 here, I think. So, like, because we have a fealty, this is a phenomenal 3-card hand. Like, Art of the Dragon Blood is putting work in. It's putting overtime in this game right here. It's crazy how good it is. Card empowerment. Yep. Because they realize that I probably have a hand. Like, they're playing around Flick Knives. I don't know that they can afford to here, but I think we've won the game no matter what. Like, even if this is a shelter, they go to 1. There's no reason to flick. They're just dead. So threatening 27 on the Wrath with the Wrath on turn 4 is like actually what won me that game. Because they had their first big turn before I did. I mean, I guess I technically dealt 17, and then they dealt 21, and then we dealt 27. So I think just like drawing our Wrath probably is like a good indication of why we won that game. The Art of the Dragon, being forced to block Art of the Dragon Scale, like threw us off of tempo in a pretty like weird way. I was pretty worried about like how bad that was going to affect us that game. So we played against Cindra. We did go second. We did get to win. Drew into Wrath on turn 4, which forced 1 card. Forced 1 card out of Op's hand, giving us enough tempo to close out. Op had Art of Dragon Scale, which forced us into blocking more than wanted. I feel like an early Art of the Dragon Scale that is Draconic goes a long way in this matchup. I feel like it goes a long way in this matchup. Hey, Annabelle, what's going on? We are 3-1 tonight playing Cindra. Working through the deck, seeing how it feels for CC. Basilio? Okay. I mean, hopefully they stay. This is a matchup that I would like to play games into. I've heard it's very favored, but I would like to play games into this. We are on Momentum. We are on Claw of Viserai in this matchup. Claw of Viserai pretty much prevents them from just going like one lightning card Mind Warp us here. We're on Overcrowded. We are not on Shelters. We are on Art of the Dragon Scale. And we are on... Oh, we bring in both Breaking Points and cut Wrath of Retribution because we are on the Claw of Viserai. That's exactly the game plan here. Scale is going to be very good in this matchup. Hopefully we draw it early and can force some awkward hands. Buzzing about LL bans? I mean, it definitely mixed up the format quite a bit. That is for sure. It mixed up the format quite a bit.
Show me what you got.
Me to my opponent right now. Okay. I mean, yeah, we'll just save some damage where we can. Ronin, Display Loyalty, Brand, Lava Burst. I mean, it is pure racing, but like I have Overcrowded in my sideboard because I don't play all of them in every matchup. Sometimes I board an Authority of Ataya, but like as a default way for me to sideboard, I bring in the third Overcrowded quite a bit because I am a firm believer that 6 blues is good to have in even the red line Cindra decks. Oh, I love that this is such a good card. I love that Old Knocker is like actually seeing play in like competitive like CC decks and heroes and stuff. It's great to see. It's really great to see. Give it a flick of the wrist. I feel like that was a song when I was in school or something. I don't know. I feel like in my head, like look at the flick of that wrist is like standing out as like lyrics. Do you still have the EA Dead Threads to pass my way? Yes, sir. Sitting in a box waiting on you, my man. I've got it double fitted, hanging out in my binder. It's got your name all over it, fam. At least I'm pretty sure I do. I haven't done anything with it, so it should be there. Cindra locked for Worlds? I'm not sure, Jason. Honestly, not sure. I'm honestly not sure if I'm locked yet. We're playing Cindra tonight, Jarl tomorrow. We're going to decide what we're playing for ProQuest this weekend, and then we're going to go from there. Overcrowded, not looking great here, but it is a chain ender. Weirdly enough. Bring it to Worlds, will do. I've only seen it in Kano and Acilio. I mean, still though, like it's cool that it's like a common like draft chaff piece from High Seas that sees play, right? Like I completely agree. It's cool that that is like a thing. I love that. Just sell your soul. We have cookies. Yeah, I did open the EA Dead Threads at I did open the EA Dead Threads in Singapore, and I have no use for it. So it is going to our boy Martin. Loving Marionette to take us so much fun with the direction we've been taking it. I'm glad you've been enjoying it, chicken. That's awesome. Old Knocker is so good. It's good enough that it's banned in Silver Age. Very true. Crazy, but true. Actually, a lot of like interesting things banned in Silver Age. Like the banned list for Silver Age is just so interesting. If they want to give a card in Lightning Greaves here to try and stop Mask, like I'm okay with this. You opened a Cold Foil Authority this weekend? I am so jealous of that. I'm so jealous of that. I need an Authority still. It's something I have to, it's something I need to buy. God, the fact that this is like 2 on the end of the chain is so sad. I mean, it's technically more damage than throwing Claw of Viserai, though, so we're going to play it. I need an Authority still. I keep trying to buy one at ProQuest when I go to stores to see if they have one or not. By Mind Twist? What is Mind Twist? I honestly don't know what we're talking about. I mean, let's just prevent the extra amp. Like, I'm okay with that. There's no way. This is the third time we've hit a freaking blue off of Ravenous Rabble tonight. 3 times. What is going on? Oh my gosh. That is so bad. It is actually crazy how bad that is. Wow. Wow, Llama coming in and saying 6 blues doesn't feel good now. I mean, you're not wrong. But you didn't have to say it. Just kidding. Drawing that even feels bad. Like, I hate drawing this. Like, drawing this does not feel good in any capacity. We're coming in for 2. Now, we do get to throw the breaking point, which is kind of nice. We have a relevant on-hit effect, and we also have, like, mask here, so... Oh, Mind Warp? Yeah, Mind Warp is crazy good. Just getting them out of the way so we don't do it in paper. I like the way you think, Martin. I like the way you think. I hope that we don't do that this weekend at a ProQuest if I do play Cindra. Not sure if we're playing Cindra at a ProQuest or not, but if we do, would feel pretty bad. Every time I play a deck that has Ravenous Rabble, I always have like a tab where I keep track of like all of them after the game for you guys. Crack a Fealty, Art of the Dragon Blood, Demonstrate Devotion. Yeah, this is actually like insane, right? We're just going to block here, and we're just going to go ham. More Ravenous than Rabble. Good pod today, boss? Jack, I'm not sure what that means. Oh, podcast. The Breakpoints podcast. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. I was like having a stroke trying to process what you were saying. But thank you. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Jack. I need to get my own stream going. I haven't practiced Fab all weekend, and I have a ProQuest this weekend. Yo, weren't you live earlier today? Or was that yesterday you were live? I thought I saw you live today, Llama. When was that? Am I going crazy? I ran into 3 or 4 wizards on Marionette at my ProQuest. Can't be much worse than that luck. That is pretty bad. Yeah, the podcast was a lot of fun. Justin Koo has such a like high knowledge level of Flesh and Blood. It's actually crazy. Just chatting with him was just like a blast. We just need to push as much damage as possible here. Like, clearly they have their turn lined up. Whatever that means. So we just need to go all in. With the hero versus cards, yeah, I agree. Justin was, like, not only a phenomenal guest, but he was just, like, a very fun person to, like, chat with. And he's so intelligent about the game. I'd never met Justin or really had a chance to talk to Justin, but I was thoroughly impressed with just Justin in general. Like, he was just super nice and super cool to talk to. Not that I thought he wasn't going to be, but I always love when you meet these people who are just like dominant players at the game, and then they turn out to be just as cool as you thought they were going to be. Like, I love that. So I honestly have no idea how we're supposed to play this turn. Like, am I supposed to block a bunch? Am I not supposed to block? Like, what's the game plan here? We're going to start here. I am not going to block this out in case this is Channel Lightning Valley. Yeah, they Arsenal gone from last turn. Like the stream if you think Spell Void Dagger is A+ design. I do actually love the Spell Void. I streamed some Pokemon last night when I was drunk. LOL, that's hilarious. We are representing lethal on our turn, but it doesn't matter if we don't get to our turn, right? But it doesn't matter if we don't get to our turn. Yo, Holden, what's up, buddy? Wouldn't worry about this turn 35 is a lot. I can't tell if you guys are trolling me or not. Because we were like at 38 playing Victor one night and died. In my experience, I let the Acilio player try their turn and concede when the combo doesn't work. That is savage. That is absolutely savage. Yudo is like twitching somewhere, like watching this VOD. It's kind of crazy. Like maybe I've just been juiced by Acilio too many times, but like in my head, anytime they like throw more than 30 at me, I'm like, are you even juicing? Or like, did you just draw like a normal Acilio hand? Yeah, we'll blow up the dagger here to save some life. They get back a Sigil of Ether. I don't understand why they didn't. I don't understand why they didn't throw Gone and then bounce that. Like, we should be at 11, which means it's possible that we can get shocked out of the game. Improbable, but possible. Oh, but this Acilio isn't that lucky? Okay. Nah, chat, he's cooked. Thanks, Rose. Thanks. Listen, sometimes, you know, you're cooking with cheese, and sometimes you're cooking with a piece of mold that you found in the back of the fridge that you thought was cheese. It's just how it goes, you know? We're not all Gordon Ramsays. Did anyone explain the updated rule on the active layer chain link thing? Can you no longer target Gone in a Flash with lightning press on the active layer? Jack, I'm not 100% sure. Jack, I'm not 100% sure what you mean. If you lightning press, you cannot target Gone in a Flash at all because it bounces. It bounces it before like you can fit, like your spell fizzles, and you don't have the ability to like actually do what you want. Is how that works, to my knowledge, Jack. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong here, but that's how that works. When you play the lightning press, you play lightning press, like Gone in a Flash is attacking, you play lightning press. If you bounce the Gone in a Flash, there's no longer a target, so the instant does not resolve. So you do not get your action point back, is my understanding of how that rule works. Sorry, I know I just like pulled up full screen, but I wanted to explain that while we were sitting here. I hope I got that right. If not, somebody who knows the rules better than me, please correct me. Acilio, we went second. We did get the win. Up had a 19-point combo turn. Never hit us with a mind warp. Played offense and used Claw to block Arcane. Up left 4 physical points off the combo turn. Would not have mattered. just a good note to like keep as we're talking about the game and everything that we went through. So we went 4-1 with Cindra tonight, which I mean, we did a lot of yapping about LL and stuff like that. So Ron, GG, man, I enjoyed the game, buddy. I enjoyed the game quite a bit. So at the very beginning of the stream, we talked about comparing like Snatch versus like Oath of Loyalty. If we were to cut Oath of Loyalty, like what's a good 2 of 0 for 4 that we would play? Snatch is like obviously the way it works. Like obviously, like Snatch is like the obvious one that we would slot in there, but I don't know that we want that many chain enders. Is my biggest concern. I don't know. Like I think 2 of Oath of Loyalty was fine tonight. There was the one game against Dio, like our loss against Dio. The Oath of Loyalty clunked things up pretty bad for us. But it turns out if I had just played better, we would have won that game anyway. So I'm thinking after tonight, my like consensus is that like maybe Oath of Loyalty is like not as hindering as I think it is. Maybe it is me and I need to be looking for better play lens with the card. So that's kind of the mindset that I'm on right now. Base of the Mountain is really good, but I'm never getting matchups where it matters. Pleiades 1 LL? What? Are you serious? I wouldn't go hating on one night of testing with Oath X2. I'm not sure what you mean, Martin. Are you saying that I shouldn't be hating on Oath? Or I should or should not be? Playing Lightning Press before gone in a flash or its attack trigger resolves in the stack layer. Nothing happens because the delayed trigger isn't active yet. Okay, Joey said that they can look it up. Okay, that works. Okay, so somebody said that's correct on what I was saying. You used to be able to target flash before it was technically resolved. I don't know. It never made sense to me in the first place, but it was something Yudo showed to do in a video. Well, if Yudo said it, I would take his word for it. Yudo's the best Acilio player I know. You know, so. But I don't know. Base of the Mountain has never quite made its way. Like it's felt like it's good against Valda. It's decent against Victor. It has play. I don't know. I've been debating cutting it from the list. My biggest issue is I don't know what else I would play. Maybe I go back to like a 1 of Arcane Compliance for like Kano or something like that. Okay, so the thing that Yudo showed is no longer allowed, Grant says. Okay. Apparently the deck revolved around Talk a Big Game. Interesting. Don't hate on Oath. I think it is a fine 2 of. It just feels bad in the deck that never wants to block. That's fair. This deck wants to block more. We are on a lot more 3 blocks. So Oath of Loyalty lines up pretty well for like blocking purposes and stuff like that. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out tonight. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate y'all chilling. Tomorrow night, we're going to be playing some CC Jarl, prepping for a CC ProQuest this weekend. I don't know what I'm playing. By Wednesday, the goal is to have decided if we are playing Cindra or if we're playing Jarl and CC. Who knows? We're going to see what happens. Don't forget, Thursday, we have a special Halloween stream for you guys. I won't be streaming on Friday because I never stream on Fridays. So Thursday, we're going to have a little early Halloween special. Let's just say it's going to be fun. Make sure you come by. It's going to be a good time. I just trust. Just trust. It's going to be fun. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here, guys. Remember, if you're new, like, follow, subscribe, all those free buttons. It goes a long way in helping me out. We'll be back tomorrow a little early, going live at 6 o'clock tomorrow. So that's Eastern time for anybody who's curious. So make sure you come by and hang out. Greatly appreciate it. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, guys.
Kyle requested 5 subs of water. Fucking weeb.